Hi and welcome to this edition of Out of the Box. My name's Paul. Today we're going to be having a look at what is in this box. This is the Ubiquiti Building to Building, so the UBB. This is relatively new at the time of recording this. It's only been in Australia for about a month where I'm based. This is a building to building, point to point internet or network connection. Traditionally Ubiquiti have done these just in the AirMax range. It's a different set of software, the Air OS. And so it's not managed from the UniFi controller. This is, so you can have your access points, you can have your switches, all of those managed in your Ubiquiti controller, and this can add building to building up to 1 gigasecond over about 500 meters. Still the same qualifications happen, needs to be line of sight, needs to be really no trees, that type of thing inside in front of it, definitely no ground. Some people ask us, line of sight, but there's a hill in the way. That's not line of sight. You need to be able to see with your clear eyes from one building to the other, no trees or whatever in the way either. Probably will deal with some trees if it's not too thick, bit of bush, probably will be okay. So this is really exciting because it's managed all from the Ubiquiti controller, the Ubiquiti UniFi controller. It's also already keyed so that they work in pairs. You buy this box, this gives you everything that you actually need to make it all work, and you don't have to do all of the AirMax style setting up. So let's have a look at what you get in the box. Alright, so I'm going to give you show you the top there of the box, hopefully without everything falling out. There we go. Alright, and we're going to take some of those devices out. So obviously you're going to get your standard PoE injector. A quick look at these just to be sure for you. If I can see it with my eyes on here, these are 48 volt PoE injectors, so they can run off your standard switches that you've got. You are then going to get, we will just come back to this in a moment, you're going to get a power cable. This is obviously you get a pair of these, so what I'm showing you now is you get two lots of, so you're going to get your power connector. This is obviously going to go into your PoE injector if you've not already got a PoE switch. So this is a cloverleaf connector that you're going to use. Alright, then obviously you will need to mount these outside. So you get, similar to a lot of the other the camera setups, you will get a ball and joint, which I'll show you in a moment. You also get, I call these, because I'm from England, these are called Jubilee clips, but I think they're here called plumber's rings. Let me just open this out of the bag so you can see what it is. This is all ready to mount directly onto a pole outside your property. You might be able to use something like the Ubiquiti Universal Mount, I think it's the UBAM, which is just a slightly bent pole that you can screw to the outside of a wall and then put the first one of these on, do the repeat on the other building. This is a point-to-point Ethernet connection. This is not creating wireless outside. This is to allow you to get a connection, a network connection from one building to another. So then you're going to get the actual device itself, this small dish itself. On the back, we'll open this up for you. You have your Ethernet in, with power over Ethernet in there, you can see. Also then on the back, if I can put this all back together again, let's just see if we can do that. You're going to get your spirit level, your level, to be able to level that all up, and also the ball and joint, which I'll show you in a minute. So we're just going to fit this into place. The idea is this is going to give you as much control over the direction that this can be mounted. So once we've got our ball joint in place, I'll just keep that a little bit looser. So that we can, so that I can show you. You're going to use your plumber's clip, which would obviously go through here. See if there's a way that I can show you make this work. It's obviously going to go through the back here. This allows you to connect it to the pole. Once it's connected to the pole, obviously we have the ability here to move it in whichever direction to allow it to point directly at the other device. It won't have to be perfect in alignment, but the better aligned you can get it, obviously the better quality signal that you're going to get. So like I said, in the box there's two sets of these. This is one, so you're going to get a plumber's connector, ball joint, PoE injector and the power cable. You're going to plug this into one building, on the outside wall of it. On the other side wall, up to 500 meters away, clear line of sight, you'll be able to put the receiving end of this out of your PoE injector. Is going to come an Ethernet cable. That Ethernet cable can now be plugged into a switch, into another access point, however you want that to happen. So just to run this through to just help you visualize this, in your first building you've got your router, maybe you've got a switch. You're going to have an Ethernet cable come from that router or switch into the PoE injector for this UBB, for this unified building to building access point. That's going to give the connection to this. At the other end there's going to be the receiver. That receiver will then have a power over Ethernet injector connected to it, or a PoE switch if you've got that already. But out of it will come a cable. That cable is now usable to be plugged into a network switch or another access point. These two devices together, when pointing at each other, just see if I can grab that just to try and help the visualization. That is, if you like, that is your Ethernet over the air. It's the same as you running a cable up to 500 meters away, and like I said, these do up to about a gigasecond at that distance, depending on obviously what obstacles may or may not be in the way. So hopefully that's been useful. This is the Ubiquiti Unify building to building, the UBB, and it allows you in the Unify controller to be able to create a building to building connection simply, securely and easily, and be able to push what you have in one property to another, so it's fully usable either over Ethernet or by adding extra wireless access points. So hopefully that's been useful.